Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. Bring back a friend of the show, Micheal Hartman. Hey Michael, how you doing?
Pretty good, Danny. How are you, man?
Yeah, good. I hear there's some rumbles over at the Ivory Towers at Amazon in Amazon FBA. We've been having a quick chat about it off call. I haven't seen you for a bit. Last time I think you came on was we spoke in China and stuff. That's a few weeks back.
Yeah.
You had a good Q4?
Very good Q4. Very, very good. No complaints.
Excellent, cool. Right, so obviously this is what's the words I put to protect my arse legally? I can't think of it, but I'm not saying the words you are. So I hope you've got insurance. Yeah. No.
I think there's freedom of speech here, but I mean, I would
Okay.
just say that there's some rumblings. I deal a lot with, let's say, Black Hat Defense, and
Yeah.
deal with my accounts and friends' accounts, and so I've been trying to work through some escalations. And Dharmesh, I don't know if many people who know who Dharmesh is. Dharmesh is like the head of all of FBA,
Right.
or we can say was.
Yeah.
So he testified in Congress back in November. I mean, so he's an important figure inside of Amazon. But one thing that's not being discussed is he's had an out of office message now for about 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
And that does not make sense in Q4. Getting escalations through his team or specific other teams have completely changed. So we've either gotten out of office messages or no response, where we used to get acknowledgement of receipt of an email.
Yeah.
And this has been across multiple teams inside of Amazon.
Can I ask you a quick question? Sorry, because you said we, meaning by you and others that you support around you, right?
Correct.
He's pretty high up and not everyone gets that level of access. I'm not going to ask you how you got that level of access.
It's public information.
It is public information. Okay.
So it's public information. So if you look and you Google Dharmesh FBA, on some of the older articles, they had his email address listed in the article.
Yeah.
So I've been using that for a couple of years, but now it's pointless.
Yeah.
So we can say that there's some other people out there that have been shuffled. I've had confirmation from connections, and there's been a huge shuffle on the inside across all teams: Brand Registry, Notice, Dharmesh, and don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
It seems to have occurred around the beginning of this month. We were cooking and booking on like a lot of POAs, a lot of like just defense work, and then all of a sudden everything just stopped working at the same exact time. So part of me wants to be like, maybe it's Q4, let's chalk it up to that. But then I started hearing rumblings of a huge shuffle up inside of Amazon that no one's talking about.
Yeah.
At least the media. I mean, it's like a media blackout on this, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Especially if you have this huge public figure with an out of office message for about 3.5-4 weeks.
So where do you, like, if you had a crystal ball, where are you seeing this going? Let's talk a bit about Congress and back up a little bit. Why was he in Congress and what was Congress about? Just for people to say,
I think it was about the FTC stuff.
Right. Okay.
So it was the FTC investigation, and is Amazon fair, not fair, these kind of things.
Yeah.
I think it was systematically done directly after Congress to not tarnish Amazon's image. Not sure if that's true or not.
Right.
But I would say that there are some shufflings and some rumblings across all the networks that I have out there, that there's a big shakeup happening currently. And so don't be surprised if you're writing in POAs and you're not getting responses.
Yeah.
I would expect that even if they have or have not replaced people, they're going to need time to adapt to these jobs and to build a new team or deal with their team. So things, in my opinion, will probably be slow moving, and they might have done it in Q4 to just chalk it off as like high volume.
Yeah. So it is interesting because who goes of some of that powerful position in any business? You don't disappear on holiday for 3.5 weeks. It might actually be a coincidence, but in that powerful position in the middle of Q4, I can't see that really happening, because that would have mean you'd have missed Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that whole holiday week there. So what else is going on then? What can you see coming off of this then? So with everything slowing down on the POAs and responses.
I think that they're redoing how they deal with POAs, responses, IP infringements, these things. Let's take the request to review thing.
Yeah.
To stop the buyer-seller messaging abuse, they changed how it's done.
Yeah.
Systematically. they're making a lot of changes in how procedures and things are done. And in some aspects they're easier, in some aspects they're harder. They're taking away the ability to see where you're shipping a product in the person's name. So you can't contact the customer or do appends or these things. I mean, so there's a lot of things that are changing. And I assume that in these disputes, these POAs and these IP, I mean, I even got hit with like 500 IP claims that are completely fraudulent. But I can't do anything about it except lawyer up and sue. But I'm not going to talk about that because it's
of course
an ongoing legal matter. So, I mean, this is how I look at it. I think that structurally over the next 2 to 3 months, things will change in how escalations and how suspensions and everything are dealt with. And I've been seeing some changes over the past 6 months, some minute changes, but they're becoming more and more accelerated. So what would you be saying to people now who are writing SOPs, POAs for current suspensions and stuff, how to deal with that? Obviously, people still use third-party agencies and fly-by-nights and the crooks and stuff out there. But I mean, if they were doing this themselves, because obviously a lot of people take this on themselves now. They've got templates. They can massage that content to get it right. Most people know how to write POA now. It's not rocket science, is it? Escalations are important, and I would be focusing on, if I'm not getting responses, to go directly to Jeff and try that. That seems to be the only team that is still responding.
Jeff at Amazon.com,
Correct. So they're the only team that does not seem to be in some sort of shambles that I've been using. And also, when you're doing these things, make sure that you're providing clear and concise documentation. Don't write a Bible. Nobody's going to read it.
Exactly. Keep it down to bullet points, take out the emotion. You mentioned about the request for review. That's been quite a hot topic recently. We haven't covered it on the show. Being at the scale that you had, how are you utilising it? What's the returns you're seeing using it? And are you using Deeme's product plugin? There seems to be a plugin out there.
There's about 4 or 5. There's 4 or 5 plugins, right? So I tried his plugin a while back, and it wasn't working. There's some other private plugins that I have access to, and those are the ones that I'm using now. It's really good conversion rate, but I'm always wary about, like, I want to control everything, right? So I would pick and choose based on certain sets of parameters who I request a review from. So, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. During Q4, I'm more willing to request a review because most of them are presents, in my niche at least. And I think people will just judge a book by its cover, literally. Once it gets over there, depending on which product it is, if I know there's issues or there's sometimes like confusion with the customer, I try and obviously improve that. But at the same time, I'm trying to, protect myself. So I'll try and control those more.
Do you have any concern because of the automation process of using software to do it? Do you think that could trigger any issues? Because that's what you worry about. If you want to go try and through, and if you're doing them manually, that's one thing. But having a tool that is capturing data in steps.
At scale, it's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
At scale, it's the only way to do it. Because if you're doing 1,000 units a day, 1,000 orders a day, what are you going to go through each 1,000?
Oh no, I didn't mean that. My point is that could you see there a point where people may get suspended by using one of these plugins for abuse?
I think that they would send like some kind of notification first.
With notice that unusual activity on your account.
Or the thing that I could see happening is maybe they're using an algorithm to see that you're cherry picking and they don't like that, and they're going to send you like don't cherry pick. If you're going to do it for everybody. That would be the first thing I would see happening. Other than that, I think that Amazon understands that at scale. What's a company like Anchor going to do? Hire 10,000 people to just click, request review? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
No, exactly.
So,
So what else is new for you? What you in any new pilot programs or anything at the moment?
No new pilot programs at the moment. Really, like I said, I've been focusing off Amazon this year. And that's where I've seen the most substantial growth is 100% off Amazon, which comes with its own problems and its own resources and benefits. I mean, so it's just weighing the two.
Are you right to elaborate on that? I know we briefly spoke off call. You've been going 3 months with this new project, and the turnover a day is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, so we're hitting 5 figures a day in turnover.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's scaling. Um, we're working on around 3 different separate websites right now. And we're just kind of jamming.
Yeah.
And it's working out very, very well. I mean, I could probably elaborate more next year, but I just want to get everything finished,
Cool. But in terms of traffic sources, obviously it takes a while to build SEO and organic. So you're just going hard with paid traffic with it at the moment.
Actually, we do both.
Yeah.
So we try and like foresee trends and do other stuff. And once we start working, we test.
Yeah.
If we have positive results on the test, we just throw everything we have at it. That's kind of where we're at. Email, we have email conversion rates of around 24%.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, so we have like really good flows built out. We're always testing new things, always trying to expand our knowledge base. However that may be.
Cool.
So,
and just before we wrap, talk to me about a trend that you can see come for 2020. It's nearly upon us now. Where do you think the people should go all in on, if you have a crystal ball?
I mean, I have a crystal ball for what I want to go all in on. I mean, I don't necessarily want to drag more competition in.
Yeah.
I will say that this year has been eye-opening with, the scale that we did. We did over 35,000 SKUs on Amazon in under a year.
That's incredible.
And that brought its own bunch of problems with it and had to find solutions. If I had to look at Amazon, I would be looking at defendable products, trying to get IP on those products. So like if I found a wheel, I would redesign the wheel and get some kind of patent or utility or design patent to dominate the market. And it just gets more and more nasty. I mean, that's basically it. So I would try and take a product, reinvent it, and launch it and make it better. I mean, that's it. I definitely get IP on it. So I definitely get some kind of design patent or something so people can't just knock you off.
Yeah, makes total sense. Cool. Well, let's wrap that there. Is there anything you want to add before you go?
No, that's it, man. Cool. It was good talking to you. It's been a while.
It is. And if people want to reach out to you, I know you're busy, but is there a way of getting hold of you?
They can still use my old email, Micheal@innoventic, INNOVENTIC.com.
Sounds good. Guys, thank you for joining us. Micheal, thank you for joining us if this is your first time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next few days. Take care.